Hi, and welcome back to the Unconventionalists podcast. I'm your host, Mark Leruste, and today we have a very exciting, short and punchy episode with the one and only Donald Miller, who's back on the show to talk about his brand new book, Coach Builder, that is coming out tomorrow. I'll be putting the links in the show notes, but you can get the book wherever you buy your books from. And we dove into the topic that I think so many of us are struggling with is, can I really turn my expertise, my knowledge, my wisdom into a sustainable and successful business? And if so, what's it going to take? And what I loved about getting an early copy of Coach Builder and reading through it is that Don's kind of broken it down into 8 different steps, and just really practical steps that if you follow these steps, you will succeed, like you will not fail. You know, we dove into why Don's actually written a book about building a coaching business when there's so many other books out there already on the topic, what he felt was really needed, what was missing. We talked about if anyone can turn their expertise into a sustainable business and a successful business, and you'll see there's a story about how a mum managed to turn her passion for growing salads into $1 million business, which is pretty crazy. So if you've ever been curious about whether you can build a coaching career or whether you can turn your expertise, your passion, your knowledge into a profitable business, I think you're going to love this conversation, but more importantly, I think you're going to love Don's new book, Coach Builder. So without further ado, we're going to give you this punchy, sharp episode. And of course, if you enjoyed this conversation, please make sure to subscribe and give that subscribe and follow button a hit. It really helps. It enables us to reach more audience and get even more guests on the show, which obviously adds super value. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we give you the one and only Donald Miller. All right, ladies and gentlemen, super excited to have Donald Miller back on the show. And we're going to talk about the brand new book coming out tomorrow, I believe, by the time this episode comes out. If not, you'll check out the link. It'll be there. Coach Builder, your brand new book that is all about how to turn your business expertise into a profitable coaching career. I got an early access to the book, really enjoyed it. I don't know if people watching this on YouTube, there's a bunch of notes everywhere on my iPad. In a few minutes, people listening to this to go, Don, why a book about building a coaching business? Surely there's 1,001 different business books on how to build coaching business. Like, why did you feel compelled to write your version?
I had too many conversations to number with people who had so much wisdom to offer in so many different areas, and were leaving their career as a pastor, or wanted to help more people learn how to do gardening, or a night nurse who knows how to put a child to bed and get them on a sleep schedule without the child having to cry or feel any pain, who wanted to help other people do it. And they knew a lot about what they knew, but they didn't know how to actually turn that into a sustainable business where they could keep doing it and keep changing lives. And so I sat down literally, Mark, just to write a PDF. I thought 10 pages. It's not that hard. Let me show you how to do it. And 240 pages later, I realized this is a book. And that is the honest answer, because I would say, well, you need to create some products, and here's how you create products, and here's what they look like. And then I was like, well, you also have to have a client list, and here's how you develop a client list.
And you're going to join a community,
you got to get a website, and here's how to do a website. And I'm like, okay, this is a book. And that's really where it came from.
And look, generally people listening to this, the thing I loved about the book was that it's packed with practical steps and examples as well. And you broken it down to like these 8 different steps that you basically need. And, step number 7, I thought was brilliant in terms of join a community, so underspoken about, which people listen to this hopefully feel about. What do you think in a nutshell? I know this is, a big $1 million question, but can anyone turn their expertise into a successful coaching business?
Yes. I haven't met anybody who couldn't yet. In fact, I have a friend whose name is Nicole Burke. Nicole she left her career in order to stay at home and be a mom. She had an itch, like so many moms do, to not put her career on pause while she was also loving her kids. And she had gotten into gardening. It's like literally a kitchen garden, was not a professional gardener, was not a trained gardener, but had an incredible, she was like giving away tomatoes. And then somebody asked her, hey, can you come over and help me with my tomatoes?
Yeah,
she did that. She now has $1 million a year business teaching people to grow her kitchen gardens. She's now making like 50 times what she would have made, make way more than her husband. And, and she's a stay-at-home, she's still a stay-at-home mom, and she's doing this. And so if she can do that, yes, then anybody with any expertise. I mean, think about it. If you are so tired of seeing men go on dates and absolutely ruin their chance at any sort of relationship by the way they act, and you know how to help them, you're a coach. You can make it. Yeah, in fact, men will pay you a lot of money to help them figure out that problem.
Yeah,
so I can't think of anything yet that you wouldn't be able to turn into a coaching career.
And I've got one final question because I audited my audience before and I selected one lucky winner to get a question asked for you around this topic. And it's John Russo. If you listen to this, thanks so much for the question. And he basically was asking, as a business coach, should I be guiding my clients to their own discovery and decisions around what their plan should look like? Or should I be more directing of what I believe the plan should be? Or do we co-create a hybrid plan with input from both parties? It's a big question, but the bottom line is, do you believe in this kind of idea of like, let's build this together, or actually I have a plan? I think I know the answer, but I'm curious to hear what you.
I'm curious whether you and I would answer it the same way. I am a big fan of the hybrid model, and the reason is I don't believe a coach is a therapist. I think they're two different things, and it's really important for therapists to sort of allow their client to self-discover. Now they're guiding their client toward hopefully a discovery that they're hoping they realize, like I'm a jerk or something like that. But but you're sort of guiding your client there. I think as a coach, you don't want to come on and say, look, let me just tell you what to do. You want your client to realize things, but also, if I were a basketball coach or a soccer coach or football, as you call it, and I were to walk up and say, okay, team, glad to be with you today. What do you guys think that we need to work on?
Yeah.
That I am no longer the coach. I'm just one of the players. A coach has to know a little bit more than that. And I think it also depends on the client that you've signed on. And you would want to say to your client, hey, look, I'm a coach. I have a methodology that I coach people through. If you sign up with me, you're signing up to learn and understand and go through this methodology. And if you ever don't like that, that's great. I want to honor that, but this is how I coach people. So it's a fluid answer. No. I think in the end, I think he nailed it with the hybrid model.
Yeah. Love it. Don, where can people get the book? What's the best resource? Tell me you've got a lead magnet. Tell me you've got something that people can go to and get some value for free.
If you're thinking about being a coach, if you go to coachbuilder.com, there's a PDF you can download, and it's 27 of the best coaches' websites that we've seen. And they're real coaches. These are 27 real coaches. Mark, we should have included you on this list. In fact, we might make it 28 now that I think about it. But that will really inspire you. I mean, think about it, 27 websites that's a good 50 pages that you can look through digitally and just see. And I think if you just sort of scroll through that, it's going to make you want to launch your coaching business, because you'll see, oh, this is very possible, and this is how these people are positioning themselves. And then the book, Coach Builder book, walks you through the 8 steps of doing that, which are things like create a menu of products, start your client list, wireframe your website, which I teach you how to do that, get a CRM, and there's a bunch more. If you take the 8 steps in that book, that you will not fail. You just won't. And if you do fail, it's because you didn't take those steps. You did something else. So it is possible for you to have a coaching career or a consultant. And think about what coaches are. Coaches, consultant, financial advisors, physical trainers, therapists, counselors, anybody who sells their wisdom can do so much better if they read this book.
And the truth is, people listening to this, you will not like this reality check. You do not need another kind of self-development program to learn the better skills. What you're doing, what you need is to actually learn how to build a business. And this is the roadmap. I think you've been very generous in the tactics and the peeling, behind the scenes, almost like the Wizard of Oz, kind of like, this is how it's done, and literally giving templates. So again, very generous book. People, where to get it. Don, thank you so much for coming back. Excited
Mark,
to get this book out.
Always happy to come back. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this short, punchy episode, special episode of the Unconventionalists podcast with Don Miller to talk about his brand new book, Coach Builder. You can go over to coachbuilder.com to get your hands on the PDF you mentioned in the episode if you want to be inspired and see how you could position yourself and hopefully either grow your own coaching business or start your own coaching career. And again, I think it was really great to go through the 8 steps and see how actually there's a There's a roadmap. There's no longer a mystery on how do you actually build, a 100K coaching business and beyond. And even dives into like how do you actually, scale that. If you enjoyed today's episode, let me know over on LinkedIn, send me a DM. And as always, please subscribe or follow wherever you're listening or watching to this podcast. It does make a huge difference. I appreciate you. As I always say, the story that will change your life isn't the story that you'll hear. It's the story that you'll share. So share your story. Your story matters. And I can't wait to see you next time. I'll see you then.